Despite whatever goes on with wide receiver, they know that at tight end with Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry, Mac Jones is in good hands, especially in the red zone after day one here in training camp. The second match of the day was between four-time Hall of Fame Open champion John Isner and Alex Mickelson, who continued his underdog story by besting the four-time champ in straight sets. The answer is Coach FLJ. I mean, how could it not be? You got to be excited about that program, what they're doing, and the potential that D'Eschaffer has another year of eligibility. She comes back. That team has a lot of talent returning. D'Eschaffer leading the way. But the whole defense, taking a mid-practice lap, seemed to catch everybody's attention. Jabril Peppers said that conditioning in the middle of practice was about accountability, making sure they take care of the mental side of the game. And Coach Boeheim highlighted his importance in the post-game press conference and noted he's getting starter caliber minutes because of the way he plays and the effort he's providing on the court. The number 2 overall seed started out with a bye, moved on to beat Hiyakata, and then a 3-set match against Jordan Thompson in which he would drop his only set so far in the competition. And in football, perseverance is essential at all levels. Despite the bad days or the bad plays, Sokol says you just got to keep that stuff from bringing you down. Hiltz will be the target man, and he will score with, I would say, relative ease, but it was because of that movement opening it up. Now, Adrian Phillips echoed those very same sentiments and said that you have to go out there and make the most of it, and then just let the chips fall where they may. Overall, he was very pleased with his performance, and in general, is just happy to be at the International Tennis Hall of Fame, continuing his grass season. As many of these teams have been impressive, I'm looking at a couple teams. Benfica first, they're not a top 5 league team, but they have been pummeling their opponents, doing really well against Club Brugge. After the game, though, when it was officially called, they all met at the middle of the field and came together. Mac Jones said it was all love between the two sides, who understand that the game of life far outweighs any football game.
But I also want to see some development within the players I already have, and maybe a next step for Georgia Willoughby to become an elite scorer. She had showed flashes of that for sure, but taking that next step for her, and a player I really enjoyed, especially down the stretch towards the end of the season, Kennedy Perkins.
In 2019, Coach Liz Bevel took over at the helm of Lemoyne Women's Lacrosse, just 2 seasons after Kathy Taylor and the Dolphins lifted a national championship trophy. Players like Adriana Nojame, who started her freshman year under Taylor, noticed a smooth transition despite a new face.
It was very nice to have that sense of familiarity. I mean, Coach Bevel played for Coach Taylor at Cortland, so there were similar drills. It wasn't everything wiped out, and she was very open to, what did you guys do last year? What did you guys find successful, and what can we change?
Inheriting a program fresh off a national title and with consistent postseason expectations is never easy. The players are hungry to stay on top, and Coach Bevel knew she needed to match that.
I think the biggest thing coming into a program with success is the players want to continue it, and as a coach, you better be ready to do that. There's been no drop-off, I would say, in kind of our goals or what we're trying to achieve every year. The players here want to succeed both on and off the field.
Coach Bevel continued to progress early in her career with jobs at Cortland, won all the way in Colorado, and an interim stint at Colgate. What she developed over the time was a mentality and culture she wanted to build. She loves the game and wants to win. So she aims to run a team that is disciplined, but can also have a good time.
I think lacrosse should be the best part of your day. So these are certainly the best 2 hours of my day when we're not in the office and doing paperwork, getting hotels, buses, things like that. That's not the fun stuff of the job. Being out on the field with the girls is the best part.
Her coaching style is not about yelling. She won't talk down to players, and she aims to be uplifting. Adriana describes her as a very calming presence, which helps the players be as stress-free as they can.
As athletes, there's a lot of anxiety on and off the field, but I think with her, she's always that calming presence and reassuring. We could have a really bad practice the day before a game, but she has full confidence in us, and just like 3-second memory is what she always says.
While game days and even the drills in practice can be intense, both Coach Bevel and Trice work to make it worth smiling about. While the music does help, both coaches tend to bring their dogs, Louie and Bear, to help keep the mood light when they can.
There are moments where it's okay to take a step back off the seriousness or take a step off the gas pedal a little bit and just breathe and smile for a minute. And I think that's what the dogs do sometimes.
Now the goal for both coaches and players is to put a 2023 right next to that 2018 on the national championship banner. But if they're going to do that, both Coach and Adriana said they have to keep the same mentality they've had all season while taking it one game at a time, and that includes one more regular season game against Southern New Hampshire University. At Ted Grant Field, Sammy St.Jean, NCC Sports.
Now, here's 12 Sports.
Entering the night, Red Sox fans out there were still hanging on to some hope, thought maybe, just maybe, the walk-off last night, coupled with the season debut of Trevor Story, could be the spark the club needs, especially in a soft part of the schedule. It was the second game of 4 against the Royals. KC with a 1-0 lead in the 4th, and Cutter Crawford, oh no, 90 middle, and Drew Waters, he doesn't miss an inch. 3-0 in favor of the Royals. Next inning, though, Adam Duvall, a solo shot to start a rally before Connor Wong singles to bring home Alex Verdugo. Unfortunately for the Red Sox, that would be the closest they get. The bullpen allowed 6 runs in the final 5 innings as the Royals matched 15 hits and beat the Red Sox 9-3. They'll have another 7:10 first pitch tomorrow night. On the south side of Chicago, the Yankees, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa rips a 2 RBI double in the 4th, and that got things going for the Yankees and led them to a bounce-back win in a 7-1 final. Today could have very well been the Patriots' final team training camp practice of the summer, considering the joint practices they have next week with the Packers and the Titans. But for now, all eyes are on the Texans. Bill Belichick telling reporters today that the lesser experienced players will get most of the game reps on Thursday. Team-related news, they are returning with a player who helped them win 2 Super Bowl titles. Defensive end Trey Flowers is back. He was drafted in 2015 and spent 4 seasons here before a big payday with the Lions and 1 injury-riddled season in Miami last year. The 29-year-old adds a veteran presence to the pass rushing unit, and even though he will begin the season on the physically unable to perform list, his teammates know the impact he can make.
He a dog. He's had a great career, so it's fun to see him.
Thursday's game with the Texans and all 3 preseason games this month can be seen live on our Air the CW Providence. Over in hockey, Jeremy Swayman spoke to the media for the very first time since signing his arbitration deal. The goalie is content entering his 3rd year in the NHL, especially with the team he's on and the city he plays for. But the sticky process he had to endure is something he says he never wants to experience again.
You know, there's no ill will on the process because I understand that I'm not the first player to go through it. I'm not the last. I'm grateful I went through it. I'm glad we got it done. I'm a Boston Bruin at the end of the day.
And Smithfield Little League is just 2 wins away from Williamsport. They can take a huge step forward tomorrow night in the Metro Region semifinals. They will face New Jersey on ESPN2 at 7 p.m. The winner clinches a spot in the championship game on Friday night against New York. And that's a check on your sports tonight. I'm Sammy St.Jean.